In this class we will present the concepts of knitwear modeling in AutoCAD 2017. To get started, open the available file and let's understand the concept of meshes modeling. A mesh model consists of vertices, edges, and faces that use polygonal representation, including triangles and squares, to define a 3D shape. Unlike solid models, the mesh does not have putty properties. However, as with 3D solids, it is possible to create forms of primitive mesh, such as boxes, cones and pyramids. This type of modeling uses the freeform concept, where we can divide, extrude, move and rotate the subfaces, creating complex and unique shapes. It is possible to apply several levels of smoothness, bending and splitting. For results with more divisions, we can refine the mesh in specific areas before modifying it. You can drag mesh sub-objects, such as faces, edges, and vertices, to model the mesh object. In the process of modeling meshes, we can use some methods. We can create shapes such as box, cone, cylinder, pyramid, sphere, wedge and toroid. We can create mesh objects with rulers, tabulated, twisted or edged, whose boundaries are interpolated from other objects or points. You can convert to solid or surface objects, including composite models. We can define mesh patterns that control a variety of mesh properties before or after you create mesh objects, as we explore further. Now that we have already known a little about modeling knitwear, let's practice. On the command line we type mesh primitive options and hit enter to access the mesh primitive options box, which sets the anti-aliasing patterns for these objects. These patterns control the appearance of new primitive mesh objects, which include boxes, cones, pyramids, cylinders, spheres, wedges and toroids. Let's understand how this box is organized. In mesh, we specify the primitive mesh to be modified, which can be a box or cone, for example. In tessellation divisions, we set the default number of divisions for each selected primitive type. In preview we show different views of the changes made. In Preview Update we define whether the preview image is updated automatically when we modify the options. Knowing how to use this dialog box correctly is of fundamental importance for setting up mesh primitives. We have seen in this class the concepts about knitwear modeling.